Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for checking out BTC for Plebs. Today in this video, we are going to install Parmanode, and we're going to be doing that on our Mac. And there's actually two different ways to install this. The first way we're going to go through is very simple, and it's installing it directly on the Mac itself. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll explain the other part later on. So again, Parmanode.com is going to be the place where we want to go here. And you can see there are some pre-built machines, some other programs and things here as well. You can read about all of these if you would like, but DIY Parmanode is where we are going to focus. Again, you can read all about Parmanode, check out the GitHub, but we want the build instructions. So once we're here, how to run and install Parmanode is just to copy and paste this into our terminal. So copy, and if you've never used the terminal, we want to open the Finder, and on the side here we should have applications, and over here we have utilities at the very bottom, and we will have our terminal inside of there. It's also inside of the Launchpad. I don't use this personally, but in here you can also go over and find utilities and then get to the terminal. So once that's open, again, we're just going to paste that right into there and run it. So this will install Parmanode, which is a Bitcoin node implementation. So this isn't Bitcoin itself. We're not installing Bitcoin right now, but it installs a program that lets you install Bitcoin easily. So let's go ahead and enter the computer password. It does hide the password there as you type it as well, just so you know. I'm not hiding that from you. That's what it does. So it said there should be an icon on your desktop for you called runparmanode.txt, which is a text document reminding you about the following instructions on how to run Parmanode. So Parmanode, simply open a new terminal window, close this one first, and type RP. So let's close this one. And since we're on Mac, we can just use the terminal command up here on the top and say new window. And then we will say RP. And here we go. We'll type in our computer password again. And we're running Parmanode. It is that simple to get started. You can take it from here. You can start to read through all the instructions that are on Parmanode, and you can really start to dig in. It's all controlled with the keyboard, so you can get through all of the steps that you need to install Bitcoin. Again, this is installed on your Mac. It's installed directly into your home directory, which is right beside like your pictures and movies, and documents. You also have Parmanode programs. So that's where that's installed, is locally on your computer. When you use Parmanode to install Bitcoin, you can use an external hard drive as the source for the blockchain. So you don't have to keep all of that on your Mac. But what if you want to keep Parmanode completely separate from your system, or be able to move between systems so that you can use one computer one day, but then keep all the data on a hard drive and move to another computer? The best way that I've found to do exactly that is to run a virtual machine of Linux on the Mac and then move that onto an external hard drive. So let's go ahead and walk through those steps, because we can install Parmanode that way as well. What we need to do is download a virtual machine like UTM from mac.getutm.app. And then whenever you have it open, it looks like this. You'll say Browse UTM Gallery, which will pull you out to here. And we're going to use Debian 11 LXDE. We're going to say Open in UTM. And that will start the download there. While editing this, I realized I missed a major section. So once you have this downloaded, you're going to right-click and say edit, and there's some settings we need to change inside of here. So what we need to do is system, we need to give it a little bit more RAM. I would say 2 or 4, preferably about 4. And then underneath of network, we want to change this to bridged advanced and hit random. So then we'll go down to virtual, the virtual disk right here, and say resize. The current size is 20 gigabytes. We need this to be able to fit the entire blockchain if we're going to run a full node. And so the size of your hard drive, your external hard drive that you're going to move this to, is where you'll need to input that. So for like 1 terabyte hard drive, it'd be about 999 gigabytes. Leave some space in there. And then same way with like a 2 terabyte hard drive, like 1998 would be good for like a 2 terabyte hard drive, and then leave a little bit more space as you go up. So we'll just imagine that we're going to put this on a 1 terabyte hard drive and then say save. So what we're going to do is right click and say stop if it's running. So then say stop and then say show in Finder. And this will show a documents folder of where that's located on the internal drive. If you want to move this to an external hard drive, at this point you would move this to wherever that's at. So just drop it onto the external hard drive and then delete it out of UTM. That'll delete the local drive right out of here, and then just double click and that'll open it back up, but it has like a link to it, so that way we can run it from the external hard drive. So we'll do that. We're going to use the username and password that it's given us, default and root. So we're going to use the default, Debian. And then for this, we are using the terminal mainly. So inside here, under System Tools, kind of like the Start menu, I said it right here. Under the System menu, and the System Tools, we're going to do LX Terminal, and that will open up a terminal window inside of our virtual machine. So we're in our Mac, in our virtual machine, in LX Terminal. And here we will go ahead and do sudo apt update. It's going to ask for that password again, which was Debian, and this will update the packages of where they're located. Sudo apt upgrade will upgrade the packages that we need. It does hit a snag right here where it asks press Q to quit, so just press Q and then it'll continue. All right, so you can tell it's finished. Also, those updates are pretty common, the update and upgrade, so that way we can stay update on our packages. Now what we'll do is we're up to date on everything. We can simply take the install script, copy it on our Mac, and we can paste it right inside of our virtual machine thanks to a universal clipboard. So we will paste that right there, and it's going to say command not found. And if that's the case, we just scroll down a little bit, because right here it says on some bare bones Linux systems kernel may not be installed. So we just need to do this one first. So copy, and the command there is sudo apt install curl. And then we can do the curl script. And there we go. That installs Parmanode directly onto the Debian. It says to do the same thing. So close the terminal window and open another one and type RP. It's going to ask for the password. And there we go. We have Parmanode installed now on our virtual machine. So the last thing that I would say is we need to hit Control-C to kind of back out of Parmanode. We're back to this standard like shell, but we need to change the password. So we can do that with set pass wd and then sudo set, it's not set, sudo password, passwd. So my apologies, sudo passwd will let you do a new password for your computer. So we'll just do there we go. So we have completely updated the password for the user account. There's one additional one, which is sudo password and then root. And we just need to update the password of our root user. Now we've successfully created a virtual machine. We've made it our own by setting our password and user accounts, and we've installed Parmanode. You can follow the instructions by hitting, again, RP, and just following the on-screen instructions there to go through Parmanode and do any installation that you'd like. I'm going to just skip through really quickly and show you. It's pretty simple to get started with installing Bitcoin. All we have to do is jump in here. I'm just going to say no to basically everything as we get moving. And then this is the main menu. So when you read through all of those instructions and get set up fully, this is the main menu. You would hit add, and then you would say B for Bitcoin, and then it would install directly onto the machine. So just keep hitting enter and following the on-screen prompts. It says, do you want the precompiled version? Yes. And then we're going to use the internal drive because the Linux machine thinks that this drive is inside of the computer. It technically is an external hard drive. But I just wanted to show you there that you can use the internal disk of what Linux thinks it is. And that way it installs on the virtual machine and just uses up that external hard drive that you have plugged into the Mac that the Linux sees as its own hard drive. So there we go. I think that Bitcoin is fully installed. We don't have Tor, so that's asking us to go ahead and do that. One additional question, and I just wanted to, before you got going, I wanted to show you that at least we could run Bitcoin. So there it is, big, bright, giant running. Bitcoin is running. It's pre-synchronizing block headers. So follow the on-screen prompts, learn how to use Parmanode, learn how to use the terminal. I hope that this helps you. And go give Parmanode a shout out because he's literally how I learned to use the terminal. So I hope it helps. Share it with somebody that you know, and I hope that you follow along for more videos and more tutorials about how to do stuff like this.